What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Zach Vaught, and today I'm going to be going over the roadmap to effective goal setting and planning for your woodworking business. And in this video, there's a few things that we need to talk about specifically. So we're heading into a new year. We're heading into 2024 at the time of recording. And this is the time when everybody needs to, I don't know if everybody does, but everyone needs to kind of pause. They need to think through the next year's vision. They need to think through where they're trying to go. And so I want to give you a couple steps that I've used to successfully plan and strategize the next year for the last couple years. So in the last couple years, I've taken my own woodworking business, Iron by Iron Woodworks, and we have grown that from basically doing nothing to doing just over $900,000 this year in revenue in 2023. And I want to kind of tell you how I've been able to do that through really strategic planning and goal setting. And so number one, the first thing that you need to do when it comes to casting vision and dreaming about your business is that you need to dream without restriction. Too many people, they start trying to dream, and the first thing that they do is they start telling themselves how unrealistic all their dreams are. And so one of the most powerful things that you can do is allow yourself to dream without restriction. If your business could look any way that you wanted it to look, what would it look like? What is the end goal of your business? And let me just say here that money shouldn't be the only goal. You building a big, successful, super profitable business shouldn't be the only goal, because you can do that and work 20 hours a week and burn your marriage down and get divorced and your kids hate you and build this giant thing all by yourself, right? So when it comes to dreaming and casting vision and setting goals, you should do it within the parameters that you care about. If you want to be there every single day when your kids get home from school, you need to build that into your goals, right? If you want to be able to take date nights and go on vacations, you need to build that into your goals, right? So you need to make sure that you are thinking through these things when you're dreaming about what you want your business to ultimately look like. But number one is dream without restriction, okay? So number two, this is where we start bringing in some restrictions, is what can be accomplished within the next 12 months. So this is where we just put a little bit of reality around it and we say, okay, I'm trying to go from here to there. How much can I do within the next 12 months in a reasonable time frame? And the reason that we condense it down to 12 months, and we're going to condense it down even more in just a second, but it gives you some parameters for year by year goals. And this is so important because people have these lofty goals, and if they don't see themselves getting there within the next 3 or 6 months, they tend to quit. They tend to lose motivation. They tend to get discouraged. And so we want to keep the big vision, the big picture in mind, but we want to also condense it down to a year so that we can say, okay, 12 months from now, if I can increase my business, by $200,000 a year, $300,000 a year, I'll be happy. That'll be an attainable stretch goal for me. The other thing here is that you don't want to set goals that are too small. If you set really tiny goals and let's say you achieve them within the first 2 months of the year, you're going to have to come back and go through this whole process again and keep yourself motivated. But you should try to set goals that are a little bit of a stretch for you. Number three, you need to basically break this up into quarterly sprints. And so every 3 months, you need to take your big goal, condense it to a year of what can I accomplish within a year, and then you need to take those things that you want to change within the next year, and you need to not try to do them all at the same time. You need to try to break them up over 3 months. So let's say you're trying to do 4 big things for your business this year. Well, you need to break those up into the 4 quarters. Focus on one thing at a time, and then when you roll into the next quarter, this thing that you did the first quarter is implemented, it's a part of your business, and it's running, it's working. So you roll into the next one and you implement something new, and you roll into the next one and you implement something new. And that's how you actually attainably can hit your targets, can hit your goals. This is what I've done. This is what I've done to hit my goals inside of my woodworking business. And so one of the biggest questions that you need to ask yourself when you're in this process is, what is the biggest change that I can make with the smallest amount of effort? I talk about this all the time, but leverage is one of the most powerful forces on the planet. What leverage is ultimately how can I make the biggest change with the least amount of effort? And there are things that you can do to grow your business that are extremely difficult, right? You can go stand out on the street corner with a sign and wave it and hope that you sell one thing a month. That's effort. You're working hard. You're out there in the sun every day. Or you can figure out how to run paid ads. And that's going to generate a lot more results for you. Or you can partner with somebody like me that runs your ads for you. So you've got to figure out, what type of leverage can I implement inside of my business? What's the lever that I can pull with the least amount of effort that's going to give me the biggest return the fastest? Those things should be your first and second quarter goals for the year. So I want to give you some ideas real fast on some different things that you could do to start moving the needle in your business to help you really set some realistic goals, help you improve the condition of your business, the sales of your business, and so on. So here's a couple ideas for you. What systems do I need to implement to generate predictable leads for my business? Okay, so right now, if you're just living off of word of mouth and referral business, I'm telling you, you cannot grow a business that way. They're the best kind of business that you can get, but they're not predictable. You need to have predictable leads inside of your business, okay? So you need to implement a system to generate predictable leads for your business. So what are those systems? What are the 4 or 5 different ways that you could do that to generate more leads for your business? The second question, how can I implement a path forward to hiring my first employee? Let's say that you're making $50,000 a year right now from your woodworking business. What if you can make $50,000 this coming year, but you worked half as much? That's a pretty great goal, right? So again, the goal shouldn't always just be to make more money, but how can you get back some more of your time as well? So what is the path that you can use to implement hiring your first employee this year? Even if it's part-time, even if it's somebody that comes in and helps you move stuff around and sand and takes a little bit of the pressure off of you, how can you start moving toward that? Disclaimer here, I'm not telling you which one of these goals you need to pick. Maybe if you don't want to work with any employees, you don't listen to that one. But you need to start figuring out, what do you want your life to look like and not just your business, okay? So number 3 is, how do I implement a system for stronger communication with my team, my clients, and my suppliers? How can you implement stronger communication rhythms and make sure that you keep happy suppliers, happy team members, and ultimately happy customers? Because a lot of times, one of the biggest breakdowns that I see in woodworking industries is that we're trying to market and sell and build it all ourselves. And so what ends up happening is we put our phones away and we try to just build 8 or 10 hours a day and not talk to anybody. And that just doesn't really work that great, okay? So how can we implement better communication with everyone involved? Here's another example, okay? And I'll just be honest with you, for the last several years, I've just been very revenue focused on my goals. The bigger business I got, the more I realized that I needed to have some other caveats in there around family, around time spent with those that I care about, around limiting my work and my productivity, and leaning more on my team to do it. But here's a prime example of what I have done in the past to get where I am today. So I want to consistently hit X dollars per month. And I want to do this by insert date, right? So like by the end of the year, I want to be doing $25,000 a month, right? Or whatever this number might be for you. Then you can't just leave it there. In order to do that, I need X amount of sales per month at Y amount per sale. So I need to do A, B, and C to generate more leads and more sales. Therefore, I need X number of employees over the next 12 months as well to help me fulfill on these obligations. So these are ways that you can break down big goals into smaller, more attainable goals, but also keep them as a stretch for you in the process. So hopefully this video has helped you kind of think through and plan out, how are you going to set goals heading into this year? How are you going to set up 2024 to be your most successful year ever? Listen, one of the things that I'll be honest with you guys about, I want you guys to win. I want you guys to succeed. I want you guys to crush it. And I want to hear your stories. I want to get some feedback from you and hear how our videos, our content has helped you. And so be sure, if you haven't set really clear goals and clear strategies on how to get there, make sure that you're doing that. And if you need help with that, be sure to check out the resources below. Handmade Business Secrets ebook, Handmade Hero Academy program, and the Woodworking Business Accelerator program. So with that being said, guys, I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video.